What is up, guys? So yesterday we talked about the new meta in bot lane. It's basically just mages replacing AD carries. I'm going to throw a link down below if you haven't seen that yet, explaining why, but this is going to be looking at who is actually the best at moving into bot lane for now at least. Remember, by the way, you have a week still to enter the $1,000 RP giveaway, which is super simple to enter. The link is down below if you want to do that. So tier 1 is going to be Zigz, and you've seen a lot of this guy recently. Actually, everything that an AD carry would do or want to do in one little package, everything they need. You have the really good wave clear, so you can push or protect his tower, like demolish theirs or keep yours alive. You have the poke and siege as well. Your passive does bonus damage to towers, right? It's really good. Your Lich Bane is added on top, and your W satchel that deletes towers. Plus you have like the damage to poke and your zone with your mines. You can protect yourself. You have really long range, like your minefield, your satchel to get people away from you. And honestly, remember, mages get damage from their abilities, which are better earlier into game, but Zigz actually has the scaling to make his late game really good. The key things with Zigz, he does damage from range, he can protect himself, he scales into late game still, he destroys towers big time, and he has a bigger impact in team fights than just his damage. He is going to be the only one that is tier 1 at the moment, but in tier 2 we have Cassiopeia to start with. She's like a hyper carry mid lane mage anyway, so it makes sense that she's going to move to bot lane where other late game champions go normally. She is good at mana sustain, and you're not really going to get any blue vast, remember, for bot lane mages, well, mostly, unless your jungler is really nice because of her E refund. You're good at fighting even early. She needs more protection than anything actually, like you dive in and you're immobile, right? Which actually makes redemption supports, which are really good right now, really good with you. Have a Carmen that speeds you up so you can fly in with your fangs, or a Janet to keep you alive, a Soraka even to heal you. I guess that combo is pretty dirty actually. You can protect yourself with your ultimate though if anyone dives onto you, and your stun can have a massive impact, even just 2v2, which actually makes her versatile in a damage lane. Pair with the Zara, stun into Zara root is really good. Your DPS, which is your damage per second, is very high as well, almost as high as an AD carry, if not higher, to be honest, and Master and Challenger players are playing this as well at the moment and doing really well with it. The key thing is to remember, you have no boots, so it means more items, more late game carry potential if you get there, and redemption supports are keeping you alive while she kills everyone. You're good in lane and in mid game after just a few items and ranks in your abilities, but you're more like the Vayne of mages really. Very high damage, but you have to get close to do it. Zara is probably the best early game mage out of anyone here actually. Also slightly different playstyle though. So Zigz and Cassiopeia can kind of just farm and be a late game beast, right? Well, Zara is really good late game still. She actually wants to fight and harass a lot more early game. The question we kind of have to ask though is, she already does loads of damage as support with little gold, right? So do we really need to put her in the AD carry role where she's going to get more gold? It's kind of overkill. It would surely be better to have like an AD carry Zigz or something and a Zara support, which will be better overall for your team. Regardless though, she actually has the damage and the ability to snowball more than others. Like, get a lead and just carry on punishing. Protection is massive. You have your root and your ultimate. It's very hard to get onto a Zara. Your damage is really high. You have burst, you have sustain with your plants, but mana issues are going to suck a little bit, at least in the lane phase. So we already know that she is great bot lane, right? We're just giving her more gold now than before. She's much more aggressive than some of the other mages, but she's a rare case where she has a very high base damage, but also scaling. So she's going to be strong at every stage of the game. You are easy to nuke down if you get caught, but you do have insane damage from the back line, just like an AD carry would. And actually the Rylai's and the Andrews being cheaper is probably not an amazing thing when we have more gold, but at least we get them sooner so we do more damage early. Ryze is going to round out our tier 2. He has a solid kit anyway at the moment. Shield, move speed, root, damage, wave clear, and an ultimate to roam. Kind of like Cassiopeia, you're typically weaker early, but you're hyper carry mage, right? And it makes sense to give them a support and put them bot lane a bit more, right? So that they can protect them. Unlike an AD carry though, he actually stings after just a few items, to be honest. Early into the game, you can set up a lot of ganks with his W. You have good wave clear, you can push people in, and he's very hard to actually like push in himself and dive him. Your ultimate lets you and your support roam to mid lane whenever you want, or just wherever you want actually. It's really cool to actually use it for both of you. It's kind of like surprise gank from 2 people. Late game, you're still going to be doing a ton as Ryze would. You have to remember that one of his biggest problems is having no support or no engage from his team. So putting him as an AD means that hopefully other roles can do that a bit more from him. Honestly, I've just described a good AD carry kit, and now you get why we're here in the meta at the moment. So remember, he has damage early and late game, wave clear, move speed, and a shield. So that's kind of the utility side of things. You can set up stuff with your W, so he's good to gank for, and he roams really well with his ultimate. So let's move on to tier 3, and we're going to start with Orianna. You want to think of her kind of like an Ashe or a Sivir of mage bot laners, I guess. She has really good late game damage, but also decent early too. Massive team fight impact with her ultimate. That's basically what we want from an AD carry anyway, to carry team fights, right? She has that shield to help her dodge some of the harass, speed up or slower displacement from your ultimate too. And remember, as an AD carry, well, in the AD carry role, she's also more likely to have synergy somewhere to use her ultimate, or even 2v2 with her support. If you put her with a defensive support, it's basically impossible to stop her farming actually. Between her utility and the support's utility, they're never ever never gonna die. Her autos are also much better than most with her passive, right? It makes her so much better in a situation where the enemy AD wants to auto attack you because you're actually doing a lot of damage back with your autos. The key thing really here though is you have much more utility than a normal AD carry or a normal mage anyway. You have good farming, your autos hurt, and you can use her ball from range. You might have a few mana issues early, but it's not the end of the world because you have a massive teamfight impact with your ultimate and AoE damage. You are able to carry, but it's important to remember with Orianna and why she's actually so good in this role is because you can help your team carry even more. Victor is the next one that I'm still kind of testing because I'm not sure about this one, but in theory it does work. You have the long range poke and a wave clear, right? You stay out of harm's way so you can stay at the back. You have good protection anyway with your zone field, shield, and speed up. Your massive team fight damage, you scale really well, but you also have good base damage early. You're very similar to Zigz in what you do, but you just don't do it as well. This is the thing, Zigz is also a much stronger champion in general than Victor is right now, just in the general game. If this was Victor from like 3 months ago, then he would be tier 1 in my opinion because his kit is perfect for this. Yasuo is the highest risk, highest reward pick in the video. So basically a hybrid between a mage and AD carry anyway. Like you have the late game hyper carry who also does damage early. You need some time in the game to really get going. That's the only part that doesn't fit this as much because you're supposed to be doing more early, but that's like needing time to 1v5. With the support, you can still do a decent amount of work. Your shield can prevent some harass. Your wind wall though can block a lot of key spells or autos. It's even more effective against AD carries. Look at Twitch for example, he's going to be played all the time at the moment, so you're probably going to play against him. He'll use his R, you use your wind wall, and suddenly he can't do anything. He's actually been used in pro play before anyway, but in solo queue it's mostly there for people who are already good at Yasuo. You can't really just pick this one up and play it instantly expect to do well. So the key thing is you can do damage early, but you scale really well, probably better than anyone else in this video except maybe Cassiopeia. Your wind wall and your shield will help a lot early. You pair with a knock-up support and you're much more deadly, and you kind of do what we want from this video, right? You're more effective early, but you're still very effective later. So Twisted Fate is actually basically flipping what the problem is with AD carries right now on its head. You're sticking someone bot lane who can roam and get fed away from the lane. You have a low cooldown stun which helps you escape or catch people and set up ganks. You have no real mana issues, and you have good wave clear and tower pressure with your cards, bonus damage, and Lichbane eventually. You get loads of extra gold just farming anyway, which is perfect for the late game carry role that we're putting him in, and you build a lot of different things actually. Some legit go AD carry Twisted Fate. Doublelift has been doing this. You build Essence Reaver, attack speed, and crit like a normal AD. A lot like to go AP like normal for that earlier spike in damage and burst. Some go heavy attack speed like Wit's End and Runas for example. Some go hybrid, Wit's End and Zonya's Gunblade and stuff like that. The thing is you have really good wave clear, you have good utility because you have a stun, a slow, and mana back as well, and you're really good at roaming. This is one of the biggest things. You can get back to lane to not miss farm or just roam mid. You don't need to get fed that early. It doesn't matter if you get camped because you have this passive gold generation and you have your roams to make up for it. It's not just damage with Twisted Fate, it's not as much pressure in the game because you have this low cooldown stun, so you're always going to be useful. So Kennen is the last one in tier 3, and he's already used to be an AD carry for a long time anyway, right? People have been playing this for ages. You can go AD or AP. AD probably makes a bit more sense if we're putting him as an AD carry, but if you have an AP mid laner, then do that. If you have an AD mid laner, maybe you want to go AP. You have decent range actually. 550 makes it hard to harass him in the lane phase. You have stuns, your E surge, speed up, and range on his Q. Makes him very safe. He's probably the safest champion in this video actually. You can just run away or stun to leave people behind if you need to. It's very hard to actually jump onto him and kill him. The biggest mistake people actually make with AD carry Kennen is running in to use your ultimate for damage. You need to use that to save yourself when they get close. You kind of want to use it as a piss off and don't touch me spell basically. When they get close, you press R, you stun and damage, and it means they have to leave you alone, but you can keep auto attacking. This has already been tried and tested, remember, even in competitive play. You can go AP or AD depending on what you need from the game, what your team needs, and you have really good tools to keep yourself safe. You don't rely on your team that much, plus you're very good in lane. Now we're going to move on to a couple which I am expecting to kind of come into the meta at the moment. Not many people playing these right now, but I think they will. Ahri is the first one because you have such high mobility, you have wave clear, sustain, long range as well, and you're basically impossible to gank. You can always escape. You pair really well with any other damage support as well because there's too much to deal with basically. Ahri's base damage plus like a Zara's base damage is going to be a lot of kills for you. You can play her as an AD carry, as AD Ahri anyway, but AP is probably what most of you are going to want to do. But she can charm people to set up kills, and she can do a lot of work. Jayce is just an AD caster, right? It means his abilities are worth more, even though autos will still do a lot. So you have good burst damage, lower range, but higher range poke. You can destroy towers with his W. You melt tanks and lower health targets as well. He's not really the entire point of this video though. He might actually start to do a bit better against traditional AD carries at least. So that is why I expect to see him a little bit more. Annie is the ultimate kill lane paired with another damage support, like the ultimate mid-game mage. If you put her with like a Brand or Zara or Karma even, she's going to do a lot of work. She's already like the ultimate AD carry counter, able to one-shot them all. Now you're just sticking them in the lane against them. You have really good farming with her Q, long-range auto attacks as well. Not much poke and siege really, so that's the one thing that lets her down, so it's a bit different, but it's more about the kill and carry potential. It's just like the best kill lane that was used a long time ago. Annie and Brand, the ultimate fire lane, it was like this ultimate cheese lane. I think it's probably going to come back a bit. The last two I want to mention are tier 4. Basically, Kale is an AP version of AD carries anyway. It makes sense to put her on this because she relies on auto attacks for most of her damage. It's literally just an AD. You play her like a normal AD. You right click and you go to town. You have the protection with your ultimate and with slows as well, so you can kite people. Your lane phase is weaker than others, which is why she's tier 4 though. Mid to late game, she is a beast and she will carry. She can just hard carry a game all by herself, so she does the same job as a normal AD. There's not really much to say about this one. She's just weaker early, which kind of like defeats the point of taking a mage into bot lane, but she does actually hard carry. She's very, very similar. Graves is a lot like Jayce as an AD caster. He's still auto based, but honestly more burst than anything else. Like, he's really good with any kind of aggressive lane, which can give you some kind of CC, like hold them in place while you burst them, or more damage. Crit works really well on him, so does AD and lethality if you wanted to go for more of an early game build. You're able to crush a lot of AD carries and demolish towers though. With the way shotgun bullets work, if you stand close, you will melt towers. So because this is a new meta that is kind of developing right now, this might not be like every single one who is right. If I missed one, please put it down in the comments and I'll read through them, especially to find if I have. But these are ones that pros are using. These are the ones that I've been using recently and having some success with. Thank you for watching until the end though. Make sure you like the video if you do. But for now, let's go to the robots.